What is going on, Crimson Tide fans? Chris Daughtry here with the Alabama Football Report. It is Christmas Eve today, and Alabama just got one present. We'll touch on that on today's show, but there is kind of a controversy when it comes to Christmas and opening the presents and everything like that. Me and my family, my parents never let us open a gift on Christmas Eve, but a lot of people out there who also get at least one present to open on Christmas Eve. So let me know, do you guys open a present on Christmas Eve? Whether that's one or more, it could be whatever you guys want. Let me know in the comments section. Type Y for yes or N for no. Coming up on today's show, we're going to talk some recruiting news. Alabama just got a new commitment for the 2026 recruiting class, so we'll touch on that at the top of today's show. Also, another five-star wide receiver in that 2026 class. Very interested in the Crimson Tide. Also, Justice Haynes is the only player who is transferring from Alabama to another school who has not yet made up his mind, but On3 did put in a prediction for Justice Haynes to commit to a new school, so we'll also discuss that on today's show. First up, though, we're going to talk about Zyan Gibson, four-star cornerback out of the 2026 class. Alabama landed him today on Christmas Eve in his 2026 class in a commitment video that was just absolutely wild. He put the Alabama hat on, threw it off, put the Tennessee hat on, walked over to a massive Christmas present, opened it up, a bunch of balloons came out, and then finally some Alabama balloons came out, and he put the Alabama hat back on. So maybe it was a little bit much, but, at the end of the day, for right now anyways, he becomes Alabama's first and only commitment right here in the 2026 class. I say he's the first commitment. Technically, he's like the third commitment in this 2026 class. You had Dorian Barney. You had Vodney Cleveland, who was committed for like 2 weeks or something like that. And then the same night that Jalen Mbakwe decided, Ryan Williams put that Instagram photo up. Jalen Mbakwe's coming back. Vodney Cleveland decides he's going to decommit. So right now, Alabama only has one commitment in this 2025 class. Out of Gadsden City High School, former teammates with Dre Kirkpatrick Jr. He chose Alabama over Auburn, Miami, and Tennessee. He's taken multiple visits to Tuscaloosa this year. Most previously was at that Iron Bowl game. And look, he was predicted to Alabama for some time now. So, look, he's a top 100 player, a very solid cornerback that Alabama's been going after for a while now. So a very, very solid present to get here on Christmas Eve. Also, the number 4 player in the state of Alabama in that 2026 recruiting cycle. So starting off pretty solid there in 2026 in the state of Alabama. I know a lot of people were very unhappy about the lack of, top 10 players out of the state of Alabama that committed to the Crimson Tide in that 2025 class. So a very good start here, getting Zyan Gibson committed early on. Like I said, though, Alabama's had multiple commitments so far here in the 2026 recruiting class. So Zyan Gibson's just the latest. Do you guys think he stays committed? It's a long way away, over a year now, until that 2026 class can actually sign. So what do you guys think? Let me know at the pinned comment. Do you think Zyan Gibson stays committed to the Crimson Tide, or do you think he decommits? You can type D in the comments section for that. It's the pinned comment on today's video. So if that ad comes here on YouTube, totally fine. You guys can ignore it. Get down there to the comments and let me know what you guys think. All right, some more recruiting rumors here. Sorry, a little bit of a tongue twister there. 2026 5-star wide receiver Tristan Keys has expressed some interest in Alabama, which would be very nice because you only had 2 players in this 2025 recruiting class at that wide receiver position. Derek Meadows had to get him to flip on National Signing Day, and Latsier Brooks also signed with the Crimson Tide. So would absolutely love another wide receiver, high-quality player, 5-star recruit, to be able to, for Alabama to be able to get them on board in that 2026 recruiting class. This is what Tristan Keys told On3 about the Crimson Tide and his interest. He said, I love Alabama. I love Coach Shep. Coach DeBoer is doing great things down there. This year was really supposed to be kind of a rebuilding year, but they still had a winning season. I'm supposed to get up there in the spring to go check it out. They're doing a great job. Coach Shep is doing a great job developing receivers, it would be a great program. Look forward to seeing how it works out down there. We'll continue to touch on Tristan Keys here in just a moment. But first, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor today, Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. Super easy to play. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. It's America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Join now because the holiday season, Prize Picks is giving away 2 free picks in December, and they're giving away $30+ million in rewards during Picksmas. Prize Picks is the best way to get action on sports in more than 30 different states, including California, Texas, Georgia, and Florida. One of my favorite things about Prize Picks, you can either go with a power play, which you got to get every single one of your picks right, but you get a bigger payout at the end of the day. Or you can do what we do here at Chat Sports and go with the flex play. You can get one wrong and still come out on top. This week's slate that we put together, we went with a Rico Dowdle more than rushing yards, as well as the Jared Goff more than passing yards, and the Hunter Henry more than receiving yards on that front. Download the app today and use promo code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. One more time for you guys. Download the Prize Picks app today and use promo code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. You do not even need to win to get the $50 bonus that is just guaranteed. That link's in the comment section and the description of today's video. It's Prize Picks. Run your game. Back to Tristan Keys here, 5-star wide receiver in that 2026 class. Look, you always want to get a top player, no matter what class it is, no matter what position it is. #1 player out of Mississippi, out of Hattiesburg, Mississippi. As of right now, he is crystal balled by Tom Loy of 247 Sports to Tennessee. Now, don't expect him to make a decision. He still, talks about the fact that he loves Alabama, and there's multiple teams out there that he wants to go visit as well. He like I said, he's built multiple connections now. With Alabama, knows Daniel Hill, knows A.K. Deere, has been talking to Coach Shep a lot. Hasn't so far made a visit to Alabama, but I definitely think, like he said, in the springtime is a pretty solid spot for him. Also, Keelan Russell, Alabama's 2025 quarterback commit, met him at a camp last summer. And look, Keelan Russell has been trying to recruit guys to that 2025 class, and he's going to continue on to get some of those bigger guys in that 2026 class as well. Some of the other schools on top right now for Keys, Ole Miss, obviously, he said he wants to visit those Mississippi schools, Michigan as well, Tennessee, Texas A&M, and USC. So multiple schools there with some pretty big NIL funds, so we'll see what happens. Obviously, Alabama not the biggest NIL fund out there, but look, there's kids out there that also just don't care about NIL as much as some other ones, so we'll see if that plays a factor in his recruitment. But as of right now, Alabama, I think, is sitting pretty. And look, if you're in the top schools list for a 5-star recruit, I think that's a pretty solid outcome as of right now anyways. Make sure you guys are subscribed as well to the Alabama Football Report. Do not miss any of our content, whether that's recruiting, whether that's transfer portal. We're going to be live for the Alabama versus Michigan game for our watch party. And when the season ends, doesn't mean we stop making videos. We'll continue to do videos for you guys all year long, so do not miss out. Stay up to date on all Alabama football news and rumors. Go ahead and hit that sub button for me right now. All right, let's go ahead and just kind of look at the transfer portal and where we're at right now. Pretty much everybody for Alabama has found a new home now. We've talked about these guys a lot, not really going to go way in depth on them anymore here. Hunter Osborne, one of the most recent guys, ended up committing to Virginia. I think Dylan Lonergan to Boston College makes just too much sense there. Keanu Cope, one of the first guys to commit there to Vanderbilt now. But there's one guy now who still hasn't really made up his mind, and that's Justice Haynes. And right now he is predicted to Michigan. It's really between Michigan and South Carolina for him. So, in retrospect right now, just so you guys know, we are, doing this video here on Christmas Eve. So hopefully things don't change, before then or whatever. But right now he is he is predicted to Michigan, but South Carolina also still in the picture there for Justice Haynes. And I tell you what, guys, I would absolutely hate to go to South Carolina and have to play Justice Haynes at South Carolina, because that team, Shane Beamer, they play for him like no other team I've really ever seen. They get behind that guy and, they play super hard. Sure, they're not always the most talented team out there, but they go out there and they play really, really hard. So I'll be honest with you guys, I'd rather if Justice Haynes went to Michigan. Let me know in the comments section here, where do you guys think Justice Haynes will transfer to? Type M if you think it's the Michigan Wolverines, or type S if you think it's going to be the South Carolina Gamecocks.